One of the reasons that you and I walk every morning, besides all the good sunshine rays, is to increase insulin sensitivity at the cellular level. 9 out of 10 women do not have insulin sensitivity. And when you don't have that, you don't have good hormone health, you don't have good thyroid health, you're aging faster, all sorts of things are happening. And it literally, if you've ever had the thought, oh, I've done everything to get healthy and nothing's working, insulin sensitivity is almost always a part of that. And so increasing that sensitivity, the best way to do that is an hour of walking. But I want to talk about something else that I've really been playing with and tweaking that will help increase your insulin sensitivity. Now, when it comes to exercise, there are 4 components. I want to talk about one. All 4 components need to be balanced, but let's really dive deep on intensity, because I think a lot of times as women, we've got some broken beliefs around intensity of our exercise. So I want to share one of my broken beliefs. May not even resonate with you, but it will grow your human growth hormone. And when you increase human growth hormone, you increase the sensitivity of your cells in a huge kind of way. So maybe you've been walking for an hour every morning and you're just not seeing those insulin numbers get to where you want them to be. This can really help make a difference. So I'm someone who grew up with adverse childhood experiences. I don't like physical pain. I experienced a lot of that. I don't like it. And so I walked away from intensity of exercise because I don't like to be in pain. I avoid pain. And I think as humans, that's just something we all tend to do, is avoid pain. I was like, it was a double-edged sword for me, because all the stuff I do is to walk away and heal from that pain that I experienced as a kid and really create peace and experience wholeness. And so I wasn't doing this correctly. And once I changed the intensity of my exercise, everything got better. Everything. And it increased my growth hormone. So I want to know, talk to me. What are you doing for intensity while you exercise? One of the places that one of the things I started doing is on my walks. So I'll just stop and I'll do some squats. About 7. I lost count because I'm talking. But doing those squats increases the intensity of my walk. Now, don't do them if they're not appropriate for you, but if they are, it increases my heart rate. It increases contracting my muscles, increases and activates my glutes. And if you're like me and you're focused on knees and really supporting knees, everyone who has bad knees has a weak gluteus minimus muscle. And so resistance bands, squats, things like that strengthen that muscle, improving the quality of ligaments in your knees. But more importantly than that, it increases your growth hormone. And say it with me. Let's shout it together from the rooftops. When you increase growth hormone, you increase sensitivity to the cells. So for example, I could walk like this, or I can get into it and I can walk. Now, when I'm not talking to you, I'm swinging my arms. Now, it's important, so important, that you don't over-exercise, because exercise is a stress on our body. And the amount of stress I can handle, the amount of stress you can handle to heal is completely different. And I see some women that over-exercise and they're not healing, especially if you're focused on your gut. Over-exercising will stop you from healing and sealing your gut. And so you have to do what's appropriate for you. I wear fitness trackers so that I can see what my heart rate is doing, so I know that I'm staying in range. But the important thing is that we're increasing the intensity, because when you do that, you increase growth hormone. And did you know at age 50, it was a while ago for me, your growth hormone takes a huge decrease. And so you have to become more, I'm going to get wet. You have to become, that was a big circle of wave. There's nothing worse than walking in wet tennis shoes. Ask me how I know. You have to become more cognizant after 50 of your exercise. So there was a simple way in my walk that I increased the intensity of my exercise, but I want to share with you another way that I increase the intensity of exercise. I think a lot of times as women we misunderstand. There's a jellyfish. And that is weightlifting. I love lifting weights. Getting those muscles oxygenated and really putting stress on them in the appropriate levels increases your growth hormone. Oh, there's a whole bunch of birds that are not moving as I approach. I feel like Alfred Hitchcock, the birds, walking through them. And so heavier weights. So for example, before I came out here to walk, I walk outside my door and I have a rebounder with wrist weights that hang on my rebounder. And I rebound for 12 minutes to really move my lymph and get my lymph moving. It's more effective than running to get your lymph moving, that G-force action on a good rebounder. Let's see, I'll tell you the kind I like. Okay, I gotta move up. There's not a lot of packed sand today. It's easier to walk. So that rebounding, I added weights to my wrists so that when I do my little things that I do, there's more resistance. So that's another way. Now, I don't do it on my ankles because of my knees. But if you don't have knees that you're protecting like I do, adding ankle weights is another great way. Like when you walk, adding ankle weights, adding wrist weights is just a way to increase that resistance. Another thing is lifting a heavier weight. So when I first started lifting, I was like, little 5-pounders. And I lift my weights and it was good. But when I really started making a difference on my insulin sensitivity, that for me kicked in because of my stress levels last year at this time, and because of the last stage of menopause, it wasn't enough. And so lifting heavier weights, oh my gosh. So now I do 15 to 25, same exercises, but there's more resistance. And because of that resistance, my muscles are stronger and I'm creating more growth hormone. And sing it with me. I hope somebody sings that's on right now. More growth hormone equals better insulin sensitivity. I don't know if that'll be a hit song, but it should be. Because That's what we're going for. We want that insulin sensitivity. And remember, Western medicine is still saying 6.1. Uh-uh. Have you looked at the newest research? Newest research is conclusive. 6.1 A1C, which is the long-term numbers for your insulin resistance sensitivity. 6.1 is not acceptable. You want it lower than that. And so increasing human growth hormone helps you to do that. Now, let's talk about, well, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, let me go to comments. Oh, I've got comments. Okay. Good morning. Oh, Sherry. It is one, and I was so resistant to this one. And just through journaling, the art of journaling program that I have changed my life. That's why I love it so much. It was through doing one of the journaling prompts, Sherry, and the art of journaling, that I connected why I was so resistant to more resistance. That's funny. That made me laugh. And it was because I don't want to hurt anymore. And so what pattern is that? Playing the victim. Yeah, I was playing the victim. Here's the thing. We all play it. It's recognizing it and changing it that healthy women do. And so I had to walk away from playing the victim and recognize that sore muscle is a good thing. Okay, I went from one extreme to the other, and now I'm creating a plan for you at your age and not 10 years ago. Sherry, that is so important. Which resistance bands do you have? The ones I've got on my Amazon, of all the resistance bands that I've purchased, I love those things. They're short ones. It's not the long, stretchy ones, and those are great too. But those short ones to activate those glute muscles are amazing, Sherry. But any resistance band is good. I just love. Oh my gosh. I think they were under 25, and I love them. I've had them probably 10 years, and they're just as good as the day I bought them. And they have done more to help me engage that gluteus minimus muscle than anything that I've ever done. So I love what Sherry brought up. And thank you so much for the comment, Sherry. I love what Sherry brought up in that she's matching her exercise to where she's at in her life. If I were exercising how I did 10 years ago, I would not be experiencing the success that I am in creating better health. And there's those 4 components of exercise with intensity, and you have to hit all 4 to really optimize. Intensity being the number one thing that I see women walking away from, and that they're just not doing the correct level of intensity. So making sure you're getting that intensity in. And why? Why do we want that intensity? Increases growth hormone. I'm a skin junkie. I don't know if you are. I'm very motivated by what my skin looks like. And growth hormone is your youthful appearance. And it was the kindest compliment. I saw an old friend, and she said, Kristen, you're aging backwards. Now, I'm aging. That's part of life. But I have better qualities in my skin now than I did when I knew her 15 years ago, 20 years ago maybe, because I consciously focus on human growth hormone. And there's a balance for me. I'm embracing where I'm at age-wise as a grandmother, at the same time doing those things that will increase my human growth hormone because it makes your skin look better. Okay, so another thing, well, I don't know, is this helping? Tell me what's your takeaways so far? Should we go a little bit more on what to increase from growth hormone, which will help insulin sensitivity? Yes or no? Give me a shout out and tell me. Maybe we should just call it done for the day. And I'll get back to my moving my arms and my power walk. You guys tell me. Oh, I think I've got head earbuds in so you can't hear the bird. Okay. Okay, we'll call it good for the day. Um, Most important takeaway, remember that getting healthy does not happen you researching. Journal. Oh, I love that, Sherry. Journal resistance. Journal my resistance to intensity. Yeah, as women, I really see that for pretty much everybody. Not every single person, but that resistance to intensity. And for me, I found the connection through a journaling prompt in Art of Journaling. Had no idea that was a connection. And I didn't want to create pain in my body. Everything that I've done has been to walk away and to heal. And so differentiating the pain, the sore muscle is not someone getting me. It was me creating a healthier body. Oh, Lisa, I'm so glad you just got your bands. Lisa, every day I activate my glutes. It's the first thing I do when I step out of my bed. I put those on. I put them above my knee and I pull them out tight. And then I do the crab walk. And I do, I don't know, I live in a 700 square foot home, so my bedroom is not huge. I do maybe 7 or 10 one way and then 7 or 10 the other way. And what a difference it's made in my knees. Because if you've got knee problems, it started with a weak gluteus minimus and it needs to be activated. I'm pretty spot on in my morning routine to activate, and I hit it about 50% of the time in the evening. And so that's an area that I can make better because I know twice a day really increases the benefits for me. So remember, researching, that doesn't get you healthy. I love to learn too, but you can focus all of your time and energy on researching more, and it usually is perfection that's driving you. You're looking for the perfect thing, to have perfect understanding, to execute it perfectly, and that's not what gets you healthy. Imperfect action steps. Imperfect action steps are what make a difference when it comes to creating health. And September is all about self-care. And I have an agenda. I really want to change how you view self-care. It's not a mask or a bath. Those are beautiful things. It's what you're thinking, what you're doing every single day in those moments that create health. And you have to have good self-care. Because really, here's my question to you. If you are not as healthy as you want to be right now, why won't you put yourself first? Why are you showing up as an uninspired version of yourself for the people that you love? It's time today, right now. Put yourself first. And I know that sounds so counterintuitive, but it's not, because when you show up for yourself, it changes the origin of your energy and it changes how people show up for you. Whew. And you start feeling better. It takes some creativity to do that. I'm not talking creativity like sewing, which is a beautiful creative thing. I'm talking creativity of time, You have to get creative with your time. When are you going to create that time to take care of yourself and put yourself first? And when, let's end with this. When you have better insulin sensitivity, you burn through less magnesium, because insulin resistant women have to soak all the time, because insulin resistance burns your magnesium levels higher. And so if you're a person that we need to watch every penny. If you're like a coupon deal, gotta have it deal person, that can inspire you to take care of yourself better when you recognize, oh, I'm not getting full functionality from this magnesium because I have not put myself first. Take responsibility. I have not put myself first, and I do not have insulin penetrating the cells. Therefore, I've got this inner tube around my tummy. Now, if you've got that kind of weight happening, that's long-term insulin issues. And every step, every day makes a difference, because when you've got that, we know you're not showing up as you, because that's a cortisol weight. And walking is the most powerful thing that I do for my mental mindset to keep my cortisol flowing and balanced. So, action, my friend. Take action. September self-care. It's all about magnesium, getting your vitamin D active, making sure you've got that intensity, and making sure that you're hitting those points while you exercise to maximize the time you put in. That's always my goal, right? Core 7, if we've got Core 7 women on, I always want minimum input with maximum benefits. And when you hit all 4 quadrants on your exercise, you will start getting maximum benefits. And you will see a difference in your blood sugar numbers, because you will be increasing your growth hormone, which increases your sensitivity to insulin, which makes it that you create health with flow instead of feeling like you're working against it. So I'm headed out to go do some squats, get my arms moving, get my heart rate up so that my insulin will enter my cells. Bye.